With us today is Joshua Fritz, who last month joined the architecture and engineering firm A Daly as a data scientist. We're going to discuss how this new role will strengthen project outcomes through analytics and data discovery. Welcome, Josh.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Josh, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how it led you to data science?
Certainly. So I actually started out in the Marine Corps as a data network specialist, where I set up and configured and maintained IT infrastructure around the world. After that, after I was done serving my active duty time in the Marines, I worked at a database company doing executive technical support. And then my next several jobs were actually in the rail industry, where I held a number of jobs that were technical software leads and managers of safety. And then I ended up helping stand up their drone program, enhancing their safety systems, doing root cause analysis, and creating data visualization dashboards for the field leaders. And now after that, I was working for a law firm where I helped do process automation and reporting pipelines for lawyers and providing IT assistance. And now I'm at A Daly as a data scientist and doing data science work. What led me back to what led me into the data science realm was actually when I was working at the railroad as a technical lead. I took a course on machine learning with Dr. Andrew Yang, a globally recognized leader in the AI space. And I really enjoyed his content and the exploration of the data systems. And after that, I was able to work with a couple data scientists in the safety department, and we helped set up some systems and processes. So that's how I ended up getting into data science.
Mm-hmm. Josh, can you touch on a little bit about how data science can be applied to the planning and designing of buildings? You have quite a varied background, but in the building area, I'm interested in learning how this translates.
Certainly. So there's a number of ways that we can apply data science to planning and design. For example, data science techniques can be used to analyze building usage patterns, occupant behavior, to optimize the building layouts and design features. Data can be collected from sensors and surveys and other sources that help identify trends and patterns in how the buildings are used. And then we can use machine learning algorithms to predict future usage patterns and design the buildings accordingly. Another way we can use data science is we can apply it to building design through the use of simulation and optimization algorithms. These algorithms that we can be used to model and simulate the performance of the different building designs. And we can take into account the different factors like energy usage or occupational comfort levels, as well as the building's functionality. These simulations could be used to optimize the building's design and identify the best possible design for a given set of constraints and objectives. And then lastly, data science could be, or not lastly, additionally, we can also use data science to analyze and predict building maintenance and repair needs. So we can collect and analyze data on past maintenance and repair activities. And data scientists can identify patterns and trends that could be used to predict future maintenance and repair needs. And this will ultimately help plan and schedule maintenance and repair activities more effectively, helping to reduce risk and unexpected downtime, improving the overall performance of the building.
Mm-hmm. Given your background, where would you rank the AEC industry vis-a-vis other industries that you're familiar with in terms of its gathering information and using that data to inform its product?
So I am newer to the firm, so this question is a little harder for me to answer right now because I am new. But I would say it's somewhere between the law, where there's not as much data and they're more unwilling to progress, as in between that and IT, where we're a little more the AEC has a lot of data available, and in general, we have a lot of momentum to want to use that data. Our engineers we're constantly analyzing and doing these types of things. So I would say we're more progressive on that spectrum. So if I was to scale it from 0 to being none to 10 being Facebooks and Instagrams and Amazons, I'd say we're probably around a 4, 5, or 6.
That's not bad, all things considered. I mean, this industry has kind of been tech phobic up until recently. So, a score of 5 would be a victory.
Absolutely. And it's the need to want to do it, right? And I think that's the big driver for change. And I've seen that a lot within the firm for just the 2 months of me working here with the leaders and talking about them about the changes that they want to see. I see a lot of promise for progress there.
Mhm. There's a lot of firms in this industry that collect information on their occupants, on their buildings, and so forth. But I'm wondering, is it your goal to use this data internally primarily, or do you plan to share it with your trade partners as well?
So we do have a lot of data at our fingertips, and project data is absolutely invaluable internally. And that data is more valuable to a client if we can find ways to deliver that service by collaborating with external players. And it would be phenomenal if we could combine our data with other players in the industry to have a bigger data set to work with. Um,
How much of this is restricted by kind of the proprietary nature of the data itself?
and that's part of the question, is where does the competitive advantage within the data lie specifically? I can't answer that one right now at that moment, but that does lead into the question about how we go about sharing our data.
Okay. Now that you're on board, what areas of Leo A. Daly's business do you think would benefit most immediately from the application of data science?
Oh, the areas where I see is where human input can be automated or enhanced, and the errors for human input can be reduced. So the non-sexy type of data science work, like the form validation and the computer vision that help with data extraction from the forms. Computer vision can really help reduce form analysis by several factors, and it's a relatively easy technology to implement. Another place where I see that is the ability to bring disparate data together and really look at a bigger piece of the information and understanding our correlations and our causations that exist between the data that we have as well as the external data publicly available to us.
hmm Um, Josh, do you have a team right now? I mean, are you one of several data scientists in the company, or are you the first, or where is this right now?
I am the first data scientist here.
What's your plan for the first year on the job? I mean, in terms of building a team, or is it you're going to be solo, or what's it going to look like?
Right now, I'm looking to build the foundational steps for the data science program here. I don't know what that's going to entail as far as additional people. What I'm trying to build is a data ecosystem within the
hmm
company, and if that requires additional resources at that time, then that's where that will be. But right now, I'm really working to build the foundational steps, getting the right technologies in place to help us streamline our models into a continuous improvement, continuous development cycle.
hmm Looking longer term, what do you think data science will be delivering for Leo A. Daily 2 or 3 years from now that it may not even be capable of or isn't doing right now?
In future years, I really hope to bring a predictive and a prescriptive analytics profile to Leo A Daily to help shoulder decision makings for leaders to help them with decision fatigue.
hmm
And there's a pillaring system within data science that moves from a descriptive model to a predictive model to a prescriptive model. Now, descriptive model explains the data where it is, well, what you have available to you. Predictive models takes the data that you have and it predicts for the future. And then prescriptive model is where the data will actually make a prescriptive method for you based on the results in which it sees. And
hmm
so I hope to, within a couple years, at least getting to the predictive side of things to really help the decision leader, or to really help the leaders validate their thoughts about their decisions that they're making.
Is the sensor industry up for that challenge right now? I mean, are you seeing what's out there adequate to the type of information you're looking to gather and analyze?
That unfortunately is not something that I've been exposed to as far as the sensor capabilities.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to answer that at this time. And
Yeah. Okay. Well, Josh, thanks for taking a couple minutes to talk to me about this. This is really fascinating, and I'll be interested to see what Leo A. Daly winds up using you and the information you gather.
Thank you, John. I appreciate it. I hope everyone either learned or liked this. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'm jlfritz at leoadaly.com, and I'd love to talk to you about it.
Thanks for the offer, and thanks for our audience for tuning in. This is John Caulfield from Building Design and Construction.